Off we go again.
Again.
Take two.
I can't remember my answers from last time.
Good.
Damn
Just,
it. My brain's too pickled these days.
well, thank you for agreeing to do another episode of the Cornish Field Kitchen podcast.
I'm glad I never put you off last time.
It was good. It was a good test. It showed that it's probably easier just to do it in person.
Yeah.
Who are you, Bruce, and what are you all about? A little intro, please.
Bruce Rennie, cook for 34, 35 years now in the industry. Works doing lots of other stuff as well. Running my own place, the shore in Penzance. Fish, mostly, vegetables, and yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's all you want to say about your...
Well, I grow so many, as you can see here. I've got polytunnels. I'll show you my orchard later. Sounds fancy. I've got trees. I shoved them in the ground, but hopefully this year I'll be able to produce lots more stuff for the restaurant. That's the whole point. And this being springish time, things are starting to come out, so it's nice.
It's nice
Anticipation.
Anticipation. Well, you're on a desert island. We're going to put you on a desert island.
Cheers.
But you
I'd
can
be quite happy.
It doesn't have to be a desert island. It's an island. You get to choose a location anywhere in the world. Where would you like to be? And I've generally forgotten what you asked for before.
I definitely, it was something temperate. I like seasonal changes, but it needs to be temperate enough. It needs to be warm enough in general, so not ultra cold, because I grew up with that. I think somewhere that's just pleasant enough and quiet.
Any favourite islands from your travels?
What travels?
I don't know.
I spent my life working. Do you know what I've been I've literally hardly been on any holidays in my lifetime. I'm 50 next year, and I have had fewer than 10 holidays. Destination holidays. I've had France, Cyprus, that we booked through the old, but that was...
That's an island. It's quite a nice island.
Remember CFAX?
Yeah.
I booked it through that last minute deal. We got it for next to nothing. And this was back when
80s? Early 90s?
Mid-90s. Early to mid-90s. Yeah, mid-90s, sorry, I think. Mid-90s. And so we went down there, and that was the CFAX one, and then this will get you as well. The other holiday I've been on, and this, bearing in mind, that's it. I'm nearly 50, I've been on almost nothing. But my father-in-law used to work out in Tanzania, and we got his air miles over there, and went to Mwanza. So we went to Dar es Salaam and then into Mwanza, and that was amazing. Went to the Serengeti. So I've been on very few holidays, and there's another island we visited on the way back for a day was Zanzibar.
There you go.
And that was pretty nice, but that was too warm.
Too warm. So like Zanzibar, but cooler, please.
Yeah, and Cyprus is good actually. I must admit, Cyprus was lovely because you got up into the Troodos Mountains and stuff. Because we obviously, the few holidays I have been in, everything for me is about community and about people. So just seeing how people get on, how people live together and stuff like that, I find intriguing.
I must admit, I'm in the same boat. I lived in Cornwall for nearly 30 years.
Yeah,
you don't need a holiday.
Yeah, why'd you...
We've got beaches and estuaries, and we've never earned enough. I think the last big holiday we had, we took the kids to Tenerife.
Oh yeah, nice.
And before that, so that's 23 years ago, over 23 years ago, went to West Coast.
Oh yeah.
Baby moon, baby's on the way. This is the last chance you're going to get. So we went to Vegas and
oh wow,
San Francisco.
I've never been over to the States.
My favourite bits were we just rented a car and went up and down. And when I got tired of driving, we'd stop.
Yeah. Nice.
And sometimes it's very touristy, like San Francisco, which is amazing. And then sometimes it's a place called Oxnard, which I think the Americans joke about Oxnard being the back end of nowhere. It's back from the coast.
Yeah.
I had a really bad Mexican meal, but I really enjoyed it because it was real. This is how people live in America. Your tourist theme park,
That's what I like.
So I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So we're going to have a Cyprus-esque.
Cyprus-esque, yeah, that's a good one. Let's go with that. That sounds cool.
Okay, that's nice. I've never been to Cyprus, but
it is lovely.
So there's a crop growing on the island that you can harvest. Man of green fingers.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you want?
Oh, as I said, probably fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I find it again hard enough. Some sort of fruit tree, I reckon, because that gives you canopy and shade as well. There you go. And if it's something like apple, great sustenance, easy to pair with stuff, fresh and cooked, and obviously then you can coppice the trees and use that for smoking and everything else. So it could get quite complex there.
Big picture for them.
Yeah. So let's go apple.
Very versatile, getting more than one thing out of it.
Yeah.
It's an island. It's surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Things in the water. What do you want to be in the water that you can grab, catch?
Anything. Okay. All sorts of. Well, there's going to be.
It's kind of what you do now, isn't it?
Day boat stuff. It's just whatever comes in. I'm like the best of it, and I'm going. Yeah, I'll take that, and it's expensive, but it's worth it. If I could catch them, I think good quality sashimi style fish, because I love eating like that, or whether it's sashimi or whether it's ceviche or something like that, is always useful. So probably a fish on the fattier side, like bream, gilthead bream or something like that, is my enjoyable ones. So yeah, gilthead
bream. Is that going to work with apple as well? Probably will.
Yeah, I could make it work. You could. I could make anything work. It's only food.
Only food. We'll rattle through these and then we can talk about other stuff if you want. An animal that's roaming around.
I remember the answer to this one.
Yeah. Now I remember.
And I was right because again it was a multifaceted answer. It was sheep.
Yes. Was it? It was sheep.
It was sheep because it was.
I thought it was a cow you wanted.
No, because I was talking about the comfort and hugging. You should remember this, Mr. Welsh man. What I was really talking about, apart from companionship, all that sort of companionship, was the fleece.
Yeah.
The use of the fleece, obviously the meat as well. You can't have sheep's milk, so a bit of sheep's milk. You can make cheese and preserve it. So sheepy sheep.
Sheepy sheep. Josh, up at Sherrard unit, Clara's Kitchen. Had deer in. And he's done everything and taken the skin off and cured it and turned it into a rug. And I was like, that's just nose to tail, and then there's turning a little thing into the hide into a something soft and lovely. And he's just done it on himself, and it was really impressive.
He needs to make himself a belt and an apron and a
hat, Davy Crockett hat. But
that's old school.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Because we used to get a coat.
Clearly got too much frickin' time. Waiter's got 4 kids. My kid's age.
He's only got one. That's enough, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Knife.
Yeah.
We've talked about knives with you before.
Yeah, I've got lots of knives, but do you know what? I use a set few.
The one that you're going to grab in a fire. Or the most useful, or.
It would have to be one of either the Deba or the Unagi. Probably the Deba, because it's more useful. It's like a fish butchery knife, so it's kind of like... and just because they're so easy to keep sharp, as in they keep sharp really nicely. Polishing them up every day, and the finish you get on the fresh for them is just out of this world. So I'd probably go for my Deba.
Do you buy left-handed and right-handed ones?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm left-handed, so... it cost me a lot of bloody money to get single bevel knives.
I remember being on the stage with you at Padstow, I think.
Oh I
gatecrashed your demo to do some hospitality action, and then a sausage roll. I put that in the oven. And then I was just fascinated. I was just sort of enthralled by you peeling the membrane off the mackerel. And about knives. And this was a few years back.
Oh yeah.
And I was so entranced with what you were talking about, I almost forgot about the sausage roll. Shit. What was I supposed to be here? I was
just quite a lot, don't I?
Well, we both known for it. We're both known for it.
But that's why I do what I do at the restaurant now. That's why I do this chat about the food when it comes. So before each course, I come out and talk, and it engages people. Well, they connect. Yeah. No, it's not going to be for everyone coming to a restaurant like that.
It wouldn't be for me. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, he's talking again.
Tell him to shut up. No,
but
you're absolutely right.
But it's connection to people and to places and to the the producers. So it's bridging that gap between the people that are growing everything, catching stuff and passing on. Because there's so much lies in our industry about.
No way.
I know. Tell me about it. Local as about. I hate all that. It does. I'd say to people, I don't go foraging. I pick stuff. And I don't ferment. I pickle stuff.
Okay.
It's old school. When you have to make it about a bloody label, then you've lost sight of what's really important.
Yeah.
And that's just damn sustenance, but tasty as.
But you're absolutely right about the restaurant experience. The older you get, the more you realise that food's absolutely super important. Of course, it's important. But how you feel. While you're there, the memory, how you felt. Oh, well, we had such a good time there, and it'll be for a dozen different reasons why you had a good time. And the food will be up there. That'll be a big chunk of it. Has to be up there, but we really enjoyed the food. But
it's hospitality. There's a reason it's called hospitality.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same page there. With my private work, you'll come out and you'll do your little spiel about courses and your. And it's not scripted, but you'll know what you want to say.
Yeah, you got to keep the key.
Because you're getting something across. And when I'm doing private dining, you'll have guests that want to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to talk. They're exactly the same in a restaurant. When you're serving tables, body language and how they are, and you give them hopefully what they need or what they want.
Yeah.
And if you want to be left alone,
then you just
leave them alone. Yeah. But I'd say 90% of the private dining clients are guests they want to know gossip because they love Cornwall and they love food, because that's probably why they're booking you. So it's about gossip and stories and stuff.
I'm in the same way. That's what my place is like, because most people that actually finally get through to booking and coming in understand what's going on. Therefore they want that connection, they want the understanding of they're buying into the location. The restaurant's about the location. It's about Cornwall. It's about Penzance, but slightly broader. And that's what makes it. So all these people that came to me this year going, "Oh, have you ever considered moving? You could open in Paris. If you did this and that." And I'm like, yeah, but it wouldn't be the restaurant. It would be different. It would be something else, because what makes it here, this place is here. It's just, it's important. Anyway, sorry.
We've got you can go on. It's going to be a 3-hour podcast. I mean, it is what it is. We talk as long as or as little as you like. A cookbook. Are you a fiend for collecting them?
I collect them.
Writing them?
I've got hundreds of. I only wrote one, and that was only because the publisher wanted me to.
One more than me.
yeah. Do you know what? It was interesting, but if you're like me and a perfectionist, I wrote it at the time because the publisher wanted a certain thing. He wanted to reflect what the restaurant was at the time. It's not really what the restaurant is now. It's close. It was a progress. And it's a transition, but it is a good bookmark to kind of have a little image of, oh yeah, that's where I was at that point. Yeah, but I'm picky. I'm the most self-deprecating, self-critical bugger, like lots of people. And I just look at it and go, oh, I could have done that better. But actually, it was done. Literally, the photography was done in a day. Me on my own in the kitchen, as you know, bashing out all these dishes for photographs and cleaning up afterwards. It was mental. Good fun. Good experience.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to pick one though.
Oh yeah.
We can't move on.
Oh well, I've got to pick.
We've got to pick one to take with you, even if it's just for the.
But you see, for me, I've got hundreds of cookbooks, and I can't remember the last time I actually opened one.
Okay.
In fact, some I never open. Or just flick and look at the pictures. If they've got a nice little story, I'll read the little story.
Yeah. I think one of my favourites is Floyd on Floyd, which is, I think, the odd recipe. I can't even remember if there are recipes in it, but it's, the stories of his
I
career.
think that's the thing that gets me. I like a story. So I would like if
a biography maybe of a chef, or
maybe not a biography as such, but someone's analysis of hospitality, I think Charlie Trotter did one that was interesting. He did one based around it was around hospitality, so it wasn't one of his cookbooks, but it was about what hospitality meant to him and the approach and professionalism and how they approached setting up a restaurant.
Right.
That sort of thing's interesting, but that draws it all into the realm of people again.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like something more like that.
Yeah.
Something that I could read and get engaged with.
And disagree with or agree with.
Yeah, but that's life.
Yeah.
I had an email from someone just the other day that was like, oh, and it's, I never used to do allergies. Like there's one day this week I've got like 3 people with different likes and dislikes or allergies. I'm like, well, I might be able to deal with some of it, might not. Tough. But this woman wrote back to, she was a single person, booked in. I was like, okay, no allergies. She said, but bear in mind, I am quite a picky, fussy eater, but if I don't like it, I'll just leave it. I'm not, so apologies on that. You got your work cut out. I'm like, not really. I'll cook the menu. You like it or don't like it.
Yeah.
We're all adults. You're allowed to not like stuff. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like everyone likes different things. Some people don't like mushrooms. Some people anyway.
Excellent. I can't read mine writing here. Oh yeah, I can. A dry good that you'd like, like your seaside, so you get your own salt. You can make your own salt.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because that's quite basic. Yeah.
So something else. It doesn't have to be a spice. It can be anything. You just think, oh, that would be handy. That's something I like. We might not have covered this one last time round.
No, it might not. I think. Oh no, yeah. Something like a hot sauce or a.
Oh
yeah, definitely. Still with that. I'll show you my collection.
Hot sauce.
I like hot sauce. I'm not always just as pure heat, but I like flavour and I like the use of spice to create contrast and lift things a little bit at times as well. So I particularly like a little bit of chilli.
Excellent. What's that say there?
I can't read. That was that mono. No.
No. Got it. Right. You've got TV. You've got your mobile phone broken, no signals. You can't call for help or talk to anyone because
heaven.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. But there's one track or a movie or both. You can pick one of those. Something that you endless repeat. You can live with.
Oh, holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh, so probably Well, that's a tricky one. See, again, I did sound engineering, so I like music and I listen to such a wide variety. I did that takeover of Radio Rewind.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Really good.
I opened.
I love it. Everyone. I put it on catch up because I knew you were doing it. Then I forgot about it because that's what I do.
Did catch up.
Well, thank God for catch up. But I loved it. Everyone was a banger.
Yeah.
I can't remember a bad one.
We started off with it was really funny because we were just about to start, and he was like, "Oh God, we better check," because it was the Pope's funeral, and I was starting with Prodigy, Firestarter, and he was like, "Better check that it's not a cremation." I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, quick." so we're frantically doing searches to see because God, radio shows getting all sorts of. I mean, he told me the story about him swearing. There was a swear word went out on one of the tracks because they'd missed it.
Yeah. And
they've got to vet these. So straight away, apologies. Look, I'm really sorry, guys. That one slipped in it. It was totally, completely upfront about it all, and just like, oops. Someone complained to Ofgem or Ofcom or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Ofcom probably. Complained. Put a complaint in, and that they fit, and then they had to. Even if it was just negligent or whatever, even they missed it, it could have cost them £20,000 plus. And he's like, we don't have that. It's like, just because someone got antsy about a swear word that slipped in it. And he was purely upfront about it all and everything. It was just like, some people just out for other. Yeah.
So you did pick music?
I did pick music.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but I think I said... so for that, I had bad old... I started with Firestarter, then I went on to Soundgarden, and then... it's a tricky one though, because I would hate to get bored of tracks. I like to bring them back.
It'll just for a week. You can ask you again next week. It'd be a different answer. As you feel right now, what would you put on to listen to?
Maybe because I like Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, one of my favourite tracks. Oh God, I like to. If it was something I had to listen to, constantly.
Yeah.
It was probably something about lyrics, because lyrics would get stuck in my head, it'd be mental. So it would probably have to be something like something classical, I guess. Something that you could goes through a whole range. Maybe some of the Vivaldi Four Seasons, because they're quite good. There's a good transition of different tones and stuff in there, so it could be quite cool.
Vivaldi.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Vivaldi Four Seasons.
Yeah, I think,
or thereabouts.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've missed off something here, but I don't really care. It's just good to chat to you. Because I'm the same. I like an eclectic bunch of music, and then I watched The Commitments.
That
first time in ages.
God, I forgot that. Yeah.
Because I'm on my own at the hotel at breakfast. It's my choice of music to start the day.
Cool.
So it was Commitment soundtracks, and then it got me to some soul music, and Northern Soul, and
I used to
just
love all that as well.
spiraling. And then the young chefs come in, and it's hardcore rap music.
Yeah.
They're just rocking in the corner, going, "Oh, this is too loud and too noisy." I mean, I can appreciate some of it, but that's what they put on. And I'll put on Beach Boys or Elvis or some punk or some ska or some variety. John Denver's greatest hits.
Oh, I love John Denver as well.
What about just start the day with that? And nice mellow tones.
I like
singing
that.
along. But they don't appreciate it. Well, not all of them, anyway.
Yeah. But that's a thing. I remember being young, bits of it. Not much, to be honest, but I remember being funny about music at the time and kind of liking a certain thing and kind of going, all that. But it's part of growing up, isn't it? It's that sort of growth. And
I think it's how you experience it. I mean, my father had an eclectic choice, and I think I absorbed some of that.
Yeah.
Because it would be Gilbert and Sullivan operas or operettas or whatever.
Yeah.
Pirates of Penzance. Pirates of Penzance, as we're here.
Yeah.
And then it'd be Mantovani, and then Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Live at San Quentin was one of his favourite tapes. So a bit of Elvis, a bit of this, a bit of that. He wasn't mad keen on Beatles or the Stones or anything like that, but he was.
But then you add to everything else.
I used to, when my eldest was going to nursery, I used to use that car journey as musical education.
Yeah.
And try out and just expose them to different things.
Cool.
And they summed up Johnny Cash as this is farmer music. And I went, farmer music, country music, I get it. Yeah. That's pretty good, actually.
Fair enough, yeah.
But I'm listening on the way over here, because I've got this new here, but Lewis Capaldi.
Oh, cool. I will add one of the Lewis Capaldi tracks on the...
I think you did, that's what kind of got me back onto it. Anyway,
that
was, so we've done a lot of music.
Awesome.
Probably missed something off.
Yeah.
Don't care. This year, or what? Any future plans, or what?
I'm trying to stay
ambition.
afloat. Do you know what? Trying to stay afloat. The business wise, it's 10 years open.
Wow.
2 years of profit, and not very good profit, but profit. But we've been hit by COVID, and we've had 2 different downturns now in the economy since I've been in there. This one's proven to be the worst, actually. This is the hardest. At this point, it's that perfect storm of changing societal approach to eating out. There's a shift in the society's dynamic and how people go and eat out. The economic downturn, so the constraints, not even just people having less money, but also people having no confidence in the market, in the economy. So we're hit by a bit of a storm at the moment. And I always just wanted to do this just to get through. I mean, straight off, it was just about enjoying what I do. So I'm trying to keep the business going. I'm trying to stick to my guns as far as the quality of produce, the love of what I do, because that's what it's all about. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it goes under, I'm a realist. But I don't think I'll stay in the industry. Certainly not in the guise, not in the same way I've done for the last 34 years. I don't want to rattle pans with someone else and get abused. But you know what I mean. I don't want to churn food out because that's all I can do. I'd rather do something with passion or not do it at all. If I'm not doing it at all, I'd be better earning money working in a bloody supermarket for low wages and then having time off, which I don't get.
Yeah.
So
Well, I kind of do a mix and match because
you're amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I am.
But again, you're doing it because for the reasons that I respect, you know.
Because my private work and the events and putting hosting chef dinners.
It's hard work.
That's the stuff that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And hotel work is a job, but it isn't a head chef job.
Yeah.
So I don't have that baggage. I do enjoy it. I couldn't do. I just did 8 breakfasts on the bounce. My first day off in 8.
Bloody hell.
They're not long shifts.
Yeah, but it's.
But I think early hours shifts count double.
Yeah. I'm not having a day off.
Yeah. And so I enjoy working at a hotel. I work, working with youngsters. I'm obviously the oldest there by a country mile. And to see youngsters are bloody 30 and you think they're youngsters, but if you can help them a little bit, or then so I enjoy that, and so that is technically part time.
Christ,
and then I get
youngsters 30. By the time I was 30, I'd been head chef in 2 Michelin star restaurants. I'd been head chef for Gary Rhodes. I'd been at the Balmoral Hotel and I'd done so much by the time I was 30.
The only thing I did by 30 was buy a restaurant. And someone told me that
crap. Don't do it.
if you don't do it by 30, you'd never do it.
Yeah.
And that was always kind of conscious in my mind.
Yeah. I bet you don't have regrets that you did it.
Oh, God,
That's amazing. I mean, I've how old was I when I took it on? I was 38.
Yeah. That's not a hard and fast rule, but it was something like maybe I'd have been better if I had waited longer, but with no plan. There's never any plan for my life, so
I think if I'd opened it when I was younger, I would have been more focused on money. I would have tried to make a successful business, and I possibly would have pushed for the whole food guide thing. Now, I'm in the completely different slant where I've pulled out of most of the food guides, almost all of them, the food guides, and I don't do any promotion. I just got someone sent me through the thing with the top 12 restaurants in Cornwall in the Telegraph, and I was in that. I was like, oh, cool. I don't do promotion. I'm rubbish at that. I'm awful. There's people that are really good at doing that sort of thing.
Well, there's people that do it professionally. Yeah. You can hire people, companies, marketing companies. You can have people do your social media. You can have, if you're turning over a shit ton of money.
I don't have the money for that.
Well, who does? But some people do.
2 companies for help. One of them does the bid stuff around here, and they said they would help because I was the catalyst for their business. In other words, when they set out as bid, the restaurant was there, what they used to promote the area, and I kept saying, send people in, as long as it's something about Penzance, not about the shore. If it's all about the community, then you can, I'll let people come in and eat, and you can add that to your little kind of thing. But if I'm hosting people for the benefit of the town, and that was always my thing. And then other local businesses got arsey that I'd got so much coverage that we were always mentioned in articles, and it's like, that's because I give up expensive meals for the sake of the town. And all these people are like, nah, we're not. So now suddenly I don't get any mentions. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And yet these people are now because they've seen the benefit of it. And I'm just like, so I approached them to ask for help, and they've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. They were like, yeah, we'll do it. And they've done nothing. All these things like the Telegraph stuff came off the back of and there was another one as well, but they all came off the back of just word of mouth. People, which
organically.
Which
without
is nice.
a push.
From
A, B or C.
Yeah. So both and the other ones were the guys that I did that dinner for. That I slotted in and did that fish dish for, that you came to the Bodmin jail.
Oh, yes.
I approached them for help. Yeah, no worries, but if you can do bits and pieces. I did that. I did something in London as well. They've done nothing. I'm slowly learning that I said, you know what, it probably won't. Nothing will. I just be happy with my little lot, keep my head down, work hard, do what I've always done, and just enjoy the little things, the people, and that's it. As long as I can. The joy of being able to serve people is awesome. Yeah, it really is.
Well, you've heard my theory about chefs, that there's 2 types. There's chefs that like cook to make people happy, and chefs that cook to make other chefs impressed.
Yeah.
And I know it's your camp Puritan, even though you do impress other chefs with your cooking. You're one of the rare. And this isn't blowing smoke at us. I think one of the few chefs that actually, you talk the talk, but you do walk the walk. This, from your allotment, from your grounds, day boat stuff. Can name the fisherman.
And
it's traceable and it's real.
But I don't market it.
No, but
it's marketed itself to a degree.
But it's there as a thread through. This is what we do. And it's not overly worked in a marketing campaign. It's just what you do.
The places that infuriates me, the places that are. Now, I like these busy places. I love the fact that busy places bring people down to the area. Really super important part of the economy. But it just infuriates me when I see places going on about local produce and, especially when they're situated, Penzance or Newland, down by the market. And then you see king prawns on the menu from Indonesia, or scallops at a tenner for a plate of scallops, and you're going, well, they're dredged. It's not really ethical, is it?
Yeah.
It's just all, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I could not live with myself if I wasn't honest. Transparency is, and people don't always like honesty. I'll be brutally honest. I'm just,
do they not?
It's funny because, but there you go.
Well,
at least you know where you stand with me.
When many years ago we did it, me and Ben and Russ.
Oh yeah.
Do a little dinner down at Marizine,
awesome.
And very late one night, very drunk. And I'd done a cheese course. One of the courses was on cheese. It wasn't that very good. I didn't really pull it off. I felt like I let myself down, I let the boys down, and we were all around a table, really late. All guests had gone. Well, some of the guests had stayed, but we were kind of on our own, and it was some honest opinions, and they said, and that defined it for me. Friendship means you can be honest with them. I've cooked a million dishes since then, but that dish reminds me of honesty. And whenever you do something, or whenever you put on, look, I'm going to do this. The British, just your friends, get on board.
Yeah.
They're super supportive. But sometimes it's not a good idea.
No, you could be honest. Go.
And you go, really?
Have you thought about this?
But people are so nice.
Yeah.
And that
there's
that's
a benefit,
great.
but you need honesty.
But you do need the honest friend occasionally. You go, you're being an idiot. Yeah. That ain't going to work. Yeah. Or have you thought about X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. I hope you're not trying to make money out of this.
So I've always appreciated. I know I've always been honest with you. I mean, I'm honest with everybody, to my detriment at times. But and then you just be able to.
It's the same, I guess. I don't put on a show. I am me. I present exactly how I am, and you get it. And sometimes my jokes are a bit risky and not on. I say the odd bad thing, but end of the day, it's me in the moment. I'm not putting a mask on.
No.
Well, there's a kind of a mask being able to do that sort of thing.
I find
it's honesty.
It's the chef's jacket for me.
Yeah.
If I put a chef's jacket on, well, treat yourself. But for me, if I put a chef's jacket on, I'm in my.
I've got a.
That defines me, but it gives me my role. If I'm not in chef's whites, and you're talking to people, I don't feel as comfortable.
Mine's a psychological one, because when I had the girl working for me for the last 5 years before it's completely me now. She said it was a switch. It was like I'd be and then as soon as sort of 6:15, 6:30 came on, boom! It's like it was a different person. It's like suddenly there's this shift to right. I'm the showman now. And it's still me. But it's me in a way that I can connect with people, but also deflect the anxiety and the but it takes energy.
Okay. Well, I've always found like demos.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing demos because it's talking to the public and it's a bit of cooking and it's a show. You're there to entertain people.
Yeah.
they may pick up some cooking things, but it's an entertainment show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find it really tiring. I find teaching kids or young adults, whatever I'm doing, teaching is really tiring.
Teaching is.
When you're just actually producing food, that's what you do.
I love teaching.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it, but it's tiring.
Because the trouble I would find teaching is not talking too much, not going off on tangents, because I love knowledge. I love knowing things and understanding things, or I love learning things, and being able to pass on knowledge and discuss it with people is just brilliant. It's like my demos were always a bit like that, weren't they?
I think your most memorable demo was Boss Castle, because you're often barefoot.
Yeah.
Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and you set fire to something. A piece of paper got caught alight, and I went on stage and put it out with my foot because I'm thinking you can't put it out with a bare foot. Yeah. But I mean,
I love that.
It was typical Bruce setting fire to things on stage in barefoot.
Yeah, it's great fun. People keep saying to me, "Do you know what about dropping your knives and stuff like that in the kitchen? You ever drop your knives? Do you ever do that?" And I'm like, if I drop one of those knives, my foot's going in the way because that knife's so expensive. I'll be like,
really?
Yeah. Oh man, 300 and 400 quid knife. I'm like, yeah.
I'll lose a toe for that.
Yeah.
I've got 9 more.
Yeah. But if it's a big toe, then because they help balance you. But maybe I'd lose a little one.
So the plans for 2025 are just keep on keeping on.
And try and hold on to all my toes.
Hold on to your toes.
No, I try to keep on, and I want to. Look, I've got this orchard going now, so hopefully I get some growth off that. It's a bit diversifying. I'd like to increase the market and stuff like that. I'd like to people to. I want it to be more accessible, but it's not manageable from a business perspective. So I want to make the most of what I've got at the moment. That's it. Enjoy it. Keep developing. I think the product itself is as far as it can go. I'm happy with it, and that's saying something. I'm happy with what I produce. So the only difference now is actually being able to get people to sustain it. But as Russell once said, he went to a business meeting and said that it was when he started doing his photography and stuff, went to one of these symposiums, and he said, they were saying that and this is the thing that rings true, and I use it all the time, is that artistic endeavour is nothing without financial viability, and it's like, that's where I go wrong. Damn it. It's like, So I don't know. I kind of, as ever, I usually undervalue myself and my product. But do you know what? The feedback I'm getting from the guests that come in is just absolutely mental at the moment. So I don't need a food guide to give me a pat on the back. I keep pleasing these people, and that's what matters. Yeah. So be content and maybe see my kids. That'd be quite nice. That's the next year.
Awesome.
Keep on
keeping on.
I'm trying to get together with more friends outside of work again. There's points we need to chat about.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Anita said as well. So that's the kind of thing. But trying to make time for people out with, because I've become so work focused, and it's just like nah. That's that.
True of us all, to be honest. We just kind of get caught up in the moment and the month to months. Living month to month. Yeah. Financially, it's never easy, and it's not getting easier.
We were overdrawn by the 7th of the month this time.
Yeah.
We got a house, and we got but we got no money. I could afford to put fuel in today because I did it on the business. But I couldn't. Other than that, I couldn't.
It's like that. You don't know it were bad. In my day, I went to do a market in Truro and realised that if I didn't take a certain amount, I wouldn't have enough money to put petrol to get back. So that will encourage your sales technique. Yeah,
exactly. Come on, please. Yeah. Did you sit in front of it with a little cardboard sign?
No, I just worked my ass off. pirate hat on.
Yep.
Engaged.
I love that. I love that.
I still got it. I still
so good.
Bring it out of refinement now and again. But I haven't done market in ages because the unit took over. Anyway, we're going to call this a day because
awesome.
We'll carry on chatting, but this has got to stop. 40 minutes.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Dog. Thank you.
We're going to say our bye-byes and then let the dog in.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your time. We'll. That's episode 2. It was 1, now it's 2.
Awesome.